Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette. If you're new here, my dad and I do plant-based food ideas, and I'm also a registered nurse, so sometimes I give you tips for overall wellness and well-being. Today's video is going to be a little mishmash of a few different things. On the food end of things, I wanted to show you some easy fruit and veggie ideas that I have that I prepare on a regular basis so that I always have fruits and vegetables at the ready and can get more of those into my diet. And then I have a couple of other exciting things going on in my life that I wanted to tell you. So I'll start with the couple of things that are kind of exciting that are going on in my life. One of those is in a couple weeks, I start 200-hour Ayurveda yoga teacher training. When I saw Ayurveda combined with yoga teacher training, I thought that was a great opportunity. I applied for the program and I just found out that I got accepted to it. And it's going to be very intensive, so it's going to take up a lot of time. Many of my weekends, many evenings, a lot of self-study, a lot of in-person training, and some online stuff. So I don't know how many YouTube videos I'm going to be able to produce between now and April. I'll try to do as many as I can, but a lot of my time is going to be dedicated to my teacher training. The yoga teacher training that I'm going to be going through will involve Ayurveda. It will involve yogic philosophy and practice. It will also involve breath work and meditation. So as you can imagine, I'm extremely excited about all of this. It's a very holistic program, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to bring some beautiful content to this channel as well as to my website. And this leads to the next thing I wanted to tell you that is also something I find quite exciting. I'm trying to work on developing an online retreat. So I'm on this committee at work, and we've been tasked with coming up with ideas to have better employee engagement and make work a little bit more fun for people. And one of the things I thought of was holding a virtual retreat, and everybody thought that was a great idea. So now I've been tasked with trying to come up with a work retreat, but that got me thinking about retreats in general. I have never been on a retreat before, but I've heard about them. And I did some research on retreats in general, and you have to have an intention for them, right? You have to have a purpose for doing them, and you can do them for a number of different reasons. So I decided to hold a personal retreat. Now, I'm the person that does all the skincare and spa products, and I talk about meditation and yoga and relaxation and walking and nature and all these relaxing things. And I am the person that has a great deal of difficulty sitting still for any length of time. I can't even watch TV for any length of time without getting fidgety. My mind is always going and thinking about something to create. And I've got to constantly be on the move. So the thought of doing an all-day retreat was very intimidating to me because I've never really set aside a huge block of time to take care of myself. And I'm a nurse, and I take care of everybody else, and I have for my entire career. So this was intimidating, but I wanted to explore this a little bit further. So instead of an entire day, I decided to block off a 4-hour period of time for myself. I took a vacation day from work. This was a day where the dog was at daycare, Jim was at work, so there was nobody here, and I had 4 hours to myself. Now, I know not everybody is going to have that, but I was able to schedule that on a day that I took off. And I mapped out exactly what I wanted to do. So I planned out like a week in advance. I wanted, in this block of time, I wanted to do this, and then I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do this. And I had my day planned out from 10 in the morning till 2 p.m. I stuck to my schedule. I did all the things that I wanted to do. And I have to tell you, it was one of the most magical experiences I've ever created for myself. And I came away from this feeling renewed and rejuvenated and relaxed at the same time. And I was almost a different person. And I realized that taking at least some time to take care of yourself is extremely important, because if you don't do that, you can't take care of anybody else, honestly. Eventually, you're going to get burned out. So my thought is to develop online retreats, and I thought about doing these kind of on a seasonal basis. The first one I'm going to do is probably going to be a little bit shorter, just because it'll be the first one, and I'm just dipping my toes in the water here. And I know not everybody can take even 2 hours to themselves at any given time, let alone 4 or 8 or even days. So I thought about keeping the first one a little bit shorter so people could do the modules at their own pace or take the entire 2 hours and do what they wanted to do. But I have ideas in my head for different modules and different activities to do. So that's what I'm planning out, and these will be focused on self-care and relaxation, basically. And then once I get my yoga teacher training, I'm hoping that I can then take you through a very gentle yoga practice. I can take you through a meditation, a guided meditation, and I can take you through some breath work. And I think that those would be really lovely things to incorporate into a retreat. So if you're on my website now until I get the first one launched, you'll see like a landing page for online courses. So it's just a placeholder until I can get this put together, and I'm still figuring out all the details. But you guys know that I love nature, and a lot of my videos have included clips from nature and my walks and stuff like that. So I figured maybe one of them could even be take a virtual walk with me in a beautiful place. Or I would film the retreats in different beautiful locations, you know. So I have a lot of thoughts about it, but I'm very excited about it. I think it's something that people could get some value from, and we'll see where it goes. All right, on to the food part of the video. I wanted to show you guys some very simple ways that I prepare fruits and vegetables so that I can have them on hand and get more of those into my day, because I know for many people it's a struggle to eat more fruits and veggies. We all know we should be doing it, and maybe people don't know how to make them taste good or cook them or even chop them up and prepare them. So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a few different ways that I do that. One of my favorite ways to eat more veggies is with soups, and I always have at least one, if not two, soups on hand all the time, all through the year. And I usually start with basic things like onions, carrots, and celery, and then add whatever other veggies I have in my fridge. This one has zucchini, green beans, and fennel. I usually put some sort of tomato product in there and then some spices to jazz it up. Now you can have this as your non-starchy veggie side to a meal, or you can turn it into a meal by adding some hearty whole grains, or some beans, peas, or lentils, or even some starchy vegetables. One thing I've been doing lately is pickling vegetables, and you can pickle just about any vegetable you can think of. Here I've got carrots, fennel, and red onion, and to make the pickling liquid, it's really easy. It's just 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. Here I've got a mixture of red wine and apple cider vinegar, a little pinch of sugar, a little pinch of salt, any kind of herbs and spices that you want. I usually do dill and garlic and some pepper in there. Then I pack my veggies into a mason jar, pour the warmed liquid over the top. You just want to warm it until the salt and sugar dissolve. Pour that over the top of the veggies, let it sit. When it reaches room temperature, put the lid on and put it in the fridge. One thing I love to do is air fry, bake, or roast my veggies. Here I've got a small head of cauliflower. I have some homemade breadcrumbs that I made. Sprinkle the breadcrumbs over the cauliflower after I've washed it so the breadcrumbs stick to it. Season it with some garlic, salt, and anything else that I like, maybe some Italian herbs or something. Then I air fry it at 400 degrees for about 20-25 minutes. Comes out nice and crispy and golden like this. Baking, air frying, and roasting really helps to bring out the natural sweetness of vegetables. Another thing I like to do is saute veggies, and I often have this blend on hand. This is onions, frozen spinach, fresh or frozen mushrooms, and tomatoes. I just saute everything until it's all cooked down and nice and soft, and then I can add it to things like my savory oatmeal, put it on top of pizza, I can throw it into a soup, or just eat it as my veggie side. And here are a couple more blends that I like to make. This one is heavy on the mushrooms, lots of mushrooms, a little bit of onion, and some frozen spinach. I like to season that with just a pinch of garlic salt. And then I also like asparagus and tomatoes, and I like to season that with a pinch of sea salt. And I just cook everything down, and as you can see, the mushrooms get really nice and browned, and they cook down, and it's just such a savory dish. I love this one. And you can see here the tomatoes kind of break down. They make it a little bit saucy. It's really delicious. Or you can saute your veggies in a delicious sauce or do a simple stir fry. This one here is in a simple red curry sauce that I made, and I serve it over rice, and it's absolutely delicious. Or you can use a grill or griddle to do your veggies. This is just a non-stick griddle type pan that we have on the stove top. And Jim actually made this for dinner one night. We have asparagus. We don't use any oil or anything like that on the pan. Just keep turning the asparagus until it turns a nice vibrant green color and gets a nice char on the outside. The stalks become tender crisp, and all we do is add a little pinch of salt and pepper, and they're absolutely perfect. Salads are another great way to get in some fresh veggies, but why not turn your salad into a summer roll so it's a portable salad that you can dip into something? All you need are some rice paper wrappers and whatever veggies you like. And here I've got some peanut sauce, but don't stop there. There's some vegan ranch. So these are really a great, colorful, tasty way to get in some fresh veggies. And let's take a trip to my freezer. I always have some frozen fruits and veggies on hand. They're convenient, they're nutritious. You can throw them together for a stir fry, a soup, or steam them for a side. I always keep things like mushrooms, broccoli, asparagus, various mixed veggies, greens like spinach and kale, Brussels sprouts. I always keep that stuff on hand, as well as some frozen fruit, especially berries. And speaking of fruit, fruit comes in its own packaging. So I always keep a few pieces of fresh fruit if I can find it on the table in a small basket so it's easy to grab and in full sight, so I'm more likely to grab some. And sometimes I blend my fruits and veggies into a delicious smoothie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before my yoga teacher training starts, I have a couple weekends free. I'm hoping to get together with my dad so we can do a Gary's Kitchen, because over Christmas we hosted dinner and my parents and my brother came over, and instead of a big dinner we had tapas. We had small plates so everybody could pick and choose what they wanted. And my dad brought vegan Swedish meatballs in this delicious gravy, and I said, you have to do a video on this. So I'm going to try to get together with him and we'll do that video. And the other thing I thought of doing was showing you how to put together different boards. You know, we've all heard of charcuterie boards. They go much deeper than just meat and cheese. You can do anything you want on these in any theme. And I picked up a few of these beautiful boards at a craft fair that were handmade by a local couple, and they're just gorgeous. They're all different kinds of wood. They're all different shapes and sizes. And I gave a few away as gifts actually for Christmas, but I kept a few because they're such a beautiful presentation for food. So maybe I'll do a video on how I put a board or two together. And you don't need to have it for a big party. You could have it for family dinner, you could do it for date night, or you could just do it for yourself. All right, like I said, I will try to do YouTube videos over the next few months, but if you don't see a lot of me, just hang in there, bear with me. I'll be back in full force in April, hopefully as a certified yoga teacher. And you guys know that I will be sharing stuff that I learned with you. So I'm very excited about this. I hope you are too. And I also wanted to say, I hope you guys had a great new year. I wish you a happy, healthy, and joyful 2024. Thank you for all of your support on the channel. My dad and I really enjoy interacting with everybody, and we enjoy doing these videos, and it just really lights us up to see that so many people like the channel. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Namaste.